Well, we have some very important updates that we need to get to today because over the past several days, I've done many videos talking about relief and stimulus checks and these tariff dividend rebates that President Trump has been promising. But one of the questions I received so many times is when exactly is this coming? I want to be very clear on something. We are going to see, especially over the next about month and a half, it's still going to be very frustrating to the US consumers because prices are still going to be high. They will still be elevated, and a lot of the relief that is coming, we won't see it until 2026. I want to show you a few things, okay? First off, you likely will be using your credit card or buy now, pay later, especially over the next about 5 weeks, because we are going into Thanksgiving, which means, well, yeah, you know it, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, people will be spending their money. Their hard-earned money will be going out faster than it's coming in. So people will likely be using credit cards. But look at this. It says rising credit card debt signals growing stress for U.S. households. One of the things that I've been hearing a lot in the comment section is people are using credit cards not just for purchasing goods like clothes and different appliances and for emergencies. People are using credit cards just to get by. They're buying food, they're paying their utility bills, they're using their credit cards as a crutch. And I understand it, but at the same time, it's going to put you in a very stressful situation here very soon. But look at this. If you think that's bad, look at this one right here. It says half of shoppers are relying on buy now, pay later this holiday season. More and more people are using buy now, pay later because their credit cards have been maxed out. But here's the thing. The Trump administration has different plans. They are going back to certain countries to try to negotiate a tariff. Okay? We just saw this today. Okay? Look at this one right here. This just came out today. Says U.S. and Switzerland reached trade deal to lower tariffs to 15%. Okay, that's pretty good. We're at 15% now. But here's the thing. When are we going to see this? Tariffs are going to go down to 15%, but when is this going to happen? Here's the thing. If the United States, if people here in the U.S. already purchased an item from Switzerland, came in, okay, great. But the problem is, it's probably been on the shelves. It's probably been sitting in a warehouse for the last couple of months. For most big stores like Walmart, Costco, Amazon, Target, all those stores, they bring in all their inventory probably about August to September, especially the stuff they're planning on selling for Q4. They bring it in months in advance and it sits there in the warehouse, which means they've already paid the tariffs, which means the prices are not going to go down until they bring in the new shipment, which means it's probably not going to be until sometime in 2026, most likely January and February. So just understand you will be paying more temporarily, but prices will go down. The Trump administration has made it very clear they are doing all that they can to bring prices back down, but it means they have to go back to these countries and renegotiate the tariffs. That's a big one. But look at this right here. Again, this is interesting. But what we see right about this time is workers try to go and get a holiday job, a seasonal job, to go and make a little bit extra money. Well, look at this. It says workers turn to polyworking to combat frozen salaries and inflation. Now, I thought that was interesting. The reason why this is interesting, and if you don't know what polyworking is, it's simply where you get multiple jobs. You usually have one main job and then you have a bunch of smaller jobs that will put more money into your bank account. And so it kind of just increases your salary. Yes, you're working more hours, but at the same time, you're making more money. What I thought was interesting though, is this is something people normally do during the holiday season. They go and get a part-time job. I talked to a guy just the other day. He's working a part-time job, helping out at a school. Great. He says it's not something that he has to work, but he does it because he wants to make a little bit extra money. Perfect. But here's the thing. People aren't just doing this during the holiday season. This is not to them a temporary job. This to them is a way of life because they cannot live if they do not have this additional income. That's where we're at. And so right now what you're seeing is many stores are not hiring the amount of people that they used to hire like last year and 4 years ago, even 10 years ago. We would hire thousands and thousands of additional seasonal employees. Now, not so much. But here's where things are going to go. And I've already shown you a little bit of this, but it says buy now, pay later options are expected to increase the holiday shopping. We see companies like Affirm and Klarna. And these companies, these are the buy now, pay later companies. And there's others out there. But we are expecting people to go and use these in order to maximize the amount that they can actually purchase. So with that said, I think we see higher sales this calendar year than we did last year, which is going to be impressive. But the problem may come after that. The couple months after, where we see some of these buy now, pay later companies, well, maybe they aren't getting paid. They're not getting their money back. Some of these credit card companies, we could see their payments go into default. That's what many people are expecting at this time. So I just wanted to share this with you because right now there's a lot of people asking, well, what's coming? When is the relief going to be here? The relief isn't probably going to be here until January or February when it comes to the relief from prices, as far as like tariff relief. But then it brings up the next question. Okay, well, if that can't come, then what about President Trump's proposal, the $2,000 tariff rebate checks? Well, here's the thing. That would be the fastest way to provide relief, is to pass a bill that includes these $2,000 checks to the American people. Any way to put cash into the American people's hand, that would be the fastest way to provide relief. But here's the problem. According to many reports, Republicans who are pushing this, they don't want to pass this too early, because if they pass it now in 2025, let's say by some miraculous, some miracle, they're able to get it done and work a bipartisan deal with Democrats, that bill would pass in 2025. The checks would come out in 2025. We are a year away from the upcoming midterm election. So for a political standpoint, it doesn't make sense as far as a campaign promise to go and pass a relief check a year early, because how many people are going to remember that in a year? That's where we're at, is that some are saying that, nope, this can't be passed now because we need to hold it so that we can pass it sometime in 2026, so that we can say, hey, look what we got you just a few months ago. That right there is what many say is a problem, because now not only are we trying to provide relief to millions of households, but we're also trying to play this political game to try to win more seats in the upcoming election. So it's frustrating to say the least, but at least you understand where we're at. There's a chance we see this $2,000 relief check come at some point. We don't know exactly what it's going to look like, who's going to get it, or when it's coming, but they say it is in the works. So as we get more information on all of this, as we know what's going on for the holiday shopping season, as we know how many people are falling deeper and deeper into debt, I promise I'll come back on and share all the latest news and updates with you as soon as we get them. But as of today, that is what we know. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.